Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hot Takes podcast. I'm Nick, joined today by Christian and only Christian. Unfortunately,
Hello.
Michael could not be here. We will
I
continue
know,
without
it's so
him.
sad to not have him the
Yeah,
first time.
you
Hopefully,
know,
hopefully the last time.
hopefully the last time. I figured it was bound to happen at some point, but we'll do our best here without him. Now, we're going to be talking today about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. We are recording this like 2 or 3 weeks after these have already happened, so we're maybe not most timely with the topic, but we still wanted to take a look and give our thoughts to it. Um, and we're going into this mostly blind. I have seen one of the winners. Christian, did you happen? I know you're not like
I
following
I
these
tried
communities.
to remain mostly spoiler free, but frickin' Google and their stupid opening the new tab ads did. I might have seen something. I might have seen something.
Okay, okay.
I'm hoping I misread what I saw.
Well, we're
But
gonna
perhaps that's a
find
sign
out.
it was real.
Yeah. Um, I haven't actually looked at this page either, so hopefully this is going up as a video, um, and we're just gonna be, going through this page together. I have no idea how it's organized. We've just been staring, or at least I've been staring at, and your winners are here for the past like 20 minutes. So with that, let's get into it and scroll down.
Oh boy, here we go.
Our 2025 winners. Oh, we're okay. So we're getting like a
Oh,
whole
it's
row.
just all the thing. Ooh,
Well, I
ew,
assume if we
ugh.
go into it, we'll start off and just work our way through. Okay. So, yeah, this is the thing
Anime
I
of the
saw.
year.
Anime of the year. Your favorite. Solo Leveling Season
There's
1.
no fucking way. No, the season one was worse than season two.
uh,
Oh my
um,
god.
yeah,
Uh,
so
Christian
let's
moments were
quickly, yeah,
priceless.
while you process that, I'll kind of review our other nominees shown here. So we have Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju number 8, and The Apothecary Diaries as the other nominees in this category. Um,
I think the Apothecary Diaries is the only show here I haven't seen.
I haven't seen the bottom three.
Tragic.
I haven't seen Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling, or The Apothecary Diaries.
Tragically, our Apothecary Diaries expert is not here.
Yeah, he is not here to defend this show and say why it maybe should have been Anime of the Year. Although he would probably actually give it to Frieren. I think most people would give it to Frieren,
Most
and
people
that's
give it to Frieren,
been
right?
yeah. So that was
I'm
some
so
of
stupid
the.
about this.
We nearly got. I guess I did actually see a few more spoilers because one of our friends shared the results of Solo Leveling winning, and I'll say right now it won't be the last time we see Solo Leveling. But Frieren, so many people were saying that because Solo Leveling is a Crunchyroll show and Crunchyroll puts on these awards, that's why it's won. But
Is it rigged?
it's not. It is potentially rigged for other
Aw.
reasons. So this is a good time to talk about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. One, they are hosted by Crunchyroll, but it is not things that are only on Crunchyroll represented. I can confirm that much. It is the voting is made up by judges. All of the judges are people who are not on the production side of anime. They are all like journalists and bloggers and other people, no one who actually like writes or directs or produces anime. And then some of the, like, I forget the exact percentage, but some of it is based on fans voting. I think it's like 30% is the fan vote when it comes to these categories, something like that. Now, the other thing is that while Sony does own both A1 Pictures and Crunchyroll, they are very much separate entities still. It's weird. You'll see like announcements of Crunchyroll has partnered with Aniplex, which is the parent company within Sony that owns A1, and Aniplex and Crunchyroll are forming like a new studio together. It's a whole weird thing, but they are, as far as I can tell, still largely independent entities. The last comment to make here, there is a YouTube video. I'll try to find it and link it in the show notes. I didn't actually watch it, but basically the gist of what I got from hearing about it is that judges were kind of told to vote based on nominations received, which is basically to say if something received more nominations, you were supposed to kind of favor it. Now, actually, last point. Most people would consider the Tokyo Anime Awards to be the more like official award show, but they only recognize a TV show and a movie, and that is it. I believe there's also a fan category, but they don't break it down by genre or anything else. So it is very limited in its format. I don't even know if they do an award show or if they just kind of release it. But that's the last thing I'll say.
You know it's legit if they just don't do a show for it. They're just like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
putting this out here, no show. Here's your award.
That's things with like other industry awards. Like we always watch the Game Awards together, which is, you know, a big public broadcast thing. And then there's also like the DICE Awards, which is like an actual industry event that I think they do an actual show still, but it's very much like just industry people sitting in a room together and like, yeah all of that. So I don't think it's available for broadcast or anything. So you just kind of find out afterwards in like a press release, like, here's who won at the DICE Awards on the gaming side of things. So
as with most award shows, then or not, I guess this isn't a show. Anyways, as with most awards things, this is ever so slightly kind of a sham.
Yeah, exactly. All of that is a big background to say that, like, don't take these like too seriously, but also for the sake of our discussion, we're going to take them pretty seriously here.
I recognize that this is a total hack, but I'm also still mad about that because this is some fucking bullshit. Like, okay, I can't hate on Solo Leveling too much. Like, it wasn't that bad of a show. It wasn't a good show by any means. The plot was barely even there, but like, in no way was it better than any of these other shows that are up here, like, at all.
Yeah. No, I think for me, of the free shows I've seen, I would probably give this to Frieren. I can't really compare to the others. So for the free I've seen, I think the problem with Dandadan being that season 1 finishes on like the start of an arc and a huge cliffhanger. That's what
season 1 cuck.
Yeah, that's why it can't win anime of the year. Delicious in Dungeon I do like, but you know, it's there's nothing in there that makes me like love it. There's nothing that makes me think this is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, no, it's a good show, but it's like just a good show. It's nothing like too special.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. But yeah, they're all these other shows are like really good and really solid, but Frieren was like by far and away like above them in terms of like quality and how it turned out and everything about it. But there's like no no reason Frieren should have won this. It's so stupid. I'm almost done talking about it just because this is the stupidest thing in the world.
Well, we'll go ahead and move on to the next category then. And we have Film of the Year, Look Back.
Film. I was like, is that I thought the category was Look Back, and I'm like, what does Look Back mean?
No, that is our winner here. I did hear a lot about this movie. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, Film of the Year is funny because I'm looking at these and I haven't seen a single one.
Yeah, no, I haven't actually seen any of it. I don't know if we have much to talk about here then. I can say I heard a lot about Look Back. People were very excited about it. It seems to have come out well.
Okay, it does look like maybe one of the only standalone movies here.
I mean, yeah, we have... I don't know about Nononoke, the movie. What that is...
Considering it's called The Movie, I assume that there is something that was...
Yeah, that is probably actually something
I guess
else.
The Colors Within, I don't know what that is, but...
Yeah, The Colors Within could similarly be something unconnected to anything existing. So, I guess we'll go ahead and move on from this one because
Yep,
yeah.
I'm happy with that winner. Fucking My Hero Academia, whatever. You're Next didn't win, so I can consider myself satisfied.
All right, we now
Oh,
have
best
best
continuing
continuing
series.
series. All right.
Part of me wishes they made the title of the category a little bit bigger than the title of the thing that won.
Yeah, that's it's a little confusing. I think they definitely de-emphasize that a little too much
Yeah,
there. So
these are
winning
these are some
here,
interesting nominations, though.
yeah. Bleach, Demon Slayer, the Hashira training arc, My Hero season 7, One Piece, Oshinoko season 2, and Spy Family season 2.
Dude, we've hit like back-to-back categories where I haven't seen any of these. I'm
Uh
not exactly surprised that Demon Slayer won though. It is like immensely popular for how mid of an anime it is.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, I'm thinking to Michael's review of this season in particular is that like most of the season is boring, and then like there's finally like the last episode or two is like actually something happening. Um, so like this,
Early review.
yeah, I think that like any of the other seasons maybe might make more sense than this one in
Not My
particular.
Hero.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah.
I, that's like I heard really good things about Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. Like people were talking that up, and I think I watched like the first two episodes, and it looked really good animation wise. But I mean, I haven't watched it, so I can't say too much more on it. But I feel like there's some solid options here, and if Michael a Demon Slayer lover said that
I'm pretty
said
sure
that
that was
this
his
season was a
review
little
of this one. Is that this
not
one
great, but,
not great?
I don't know.
So I know for because I've read the manga for Oshinoko, I know that this is generally a pretty good arc that people really like that was covered in the second season. But I don't know how they actually did with the adaptation or anything.
I
Um,
mean, I heard good things about that one too.
yeah, so Spy Family, I think people said, part two of season one, many people considered a decline. Season two, bringing it back up a little bit, but also haven't seen it. So, yeah, I
I
guess.
haven't heard about Spy Family since like season one, part two started.
Yeah. Well, we'll
So we
go
haven't watched it.
on to the next category then.
I mean, One Piece is there as well, but
One Piece
we
is
don't
there,
even have to
but
talk
like,
about it.
well, we might
Oh
have a
god,
One Piece episode one day.
holy shit! Why even have this category? What the actual fuck? Best new series, and it's the exact same shows nominated for anime of the year.
You know
Actually,
that
fuck off, Crunchyroll.
that actually kind of makes me think anime of the year didn't include any second seasons, which is I don't know how they choose the category, but that is kind of wondering.
Clearly, they just fucking pull it out of their ass. Oh my god, this is just so dumb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've already talked about this one
Yeah,
at
fucking move
length.
on. Fuck solo
Yeah.
leveling again. God damn.
What's next? Best original anime. So imagine these are things that are not
Holy shit.
adaptations.
Fucking dude, this
Oh,
is
wow.
I
Okay,
see it.
wait.
Look at all these shows. Dude,
Yeah, look,
I'm happy to see these.
I'll go ahead and read these off just for anyone who's only listening. We have, as the winner, we have Ninja Kamui. Then other nominees include Buchigiri, Girls Band Cry, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, Metallic Rouge, and Train to the End of the World.
Woo!
Yeah, we
And
do actually have something to talk about here.
I'm happy that Metallic Rouge and Train to the End of the World got nominated. They're so good. They're so good and like so underrated. No one talks about them.
I do think that Metallic Rouge has a few flaws with its story. I think that there are things that you really liked that I think threw other people off, which is kind of the lack of explanation to certain
Yeah, dude. Oh,
things.
okay. People just don't get the old school confusing as fuck sci-fi show. They don't understand it.
Yeah, I would say, there were some parts of that I didn't like as much. I can understand why it might not be considered the winner for that reason, just like regardless of the validity of the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Train to the End
I
of the
know.
World, though, I really liked. I don't have a single problem with that show, I think. Um,
That show was brilliant. That was like that might have been like my favorite show of the year.
yeah. I can't speak to the others. I have no idea anything about them. I
Uh,
haven't even heard of the winner, actually. I've heard of.
I haven't heard of it either.
Yeah, I
It
think I've
looks
heard
cool.
of all the others, but I haven't heard of the winner.
I gotta like pull up a page of this on the side.
Yeah.
Ninja Kamui. I don't know why I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. It's not helpful. Anyways, the artwork on the that they're showing here it looks pretty cool. So maybe I'll give it a try. Maybe I'm gaining something out of the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
Talking.
if we have another dry season, something to look forward to, we'll go
Yeah,
ahead.
Buchigiri, I don't know much about. I didn't end up watching it, but the other two are music anime.
I mean, well, Girls Band Cry makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. I know I saw the title and I was like, what is this? And then I just never actually looked into it.
Yeah, I saw both of them, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll give it a try. You know, the last music anime I kind of enjoyed, and then I tried like an episode or two, and I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Solid category though. Thank you Crunchyroll for having at least one category that's like interesting and has cool stuff.
Well,
Oh
now
boy,
we
here we
move on
go.
to Best Animation.
Best animation.
Demon Slayer winning this category once again. Other nominees being Dan Dan, Delicious in Dungeon, Freer and Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju number 8, and Solo Leveling. Not a Solo Leveling winner, at least.
Thank fucking God. And you know, actually, you know what's hilarious? This is like the one category I would be okay with solo leveling like winning because it did look pretty good. But I'm also like I can't complain too much about Demon Slayer winning again as much as I don't like Demon Slayer. I can't complain too much just because it's like that's like the thing. That's the only thing it has going for it. In terms of quality wise, it looks really good. It's
Yeah,
always looked really good.
I've never watched an episode of Demon Slayer, but I've seen like clips and just other things, and like I can see visually they clearly put in the effort to make
Yeah.
that look good at the very least.
I'd be tempted to say like Dan to Dan might like actually be better, but I don't know. I'd have to actually do a comparison, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for the others I've seen here, um, like Frieren has some really good moments, but it's not necessarily the most visually impressive still. Um, and Delicious in Dungeon just looks like, you know, it's an anime. I don't think they are doing that much with it.
Yeah. Maybe
Uh,
that's the secret to these awards and like the general populace's opinion on anime, Nick. Maybe they're not actually like reading the text on the screen and they're just watching the
mm,
flashing lights and being like, "Ooh, pretty! Ooh, I like
yeah,
that."
they don't actually turn on subs or anything. They are just looking at it.
Maybe that's why I feel so disconnected from the general anime fan base.
uh, well, we'll move on to the next category here. Best character
Character
design.
design. Wait, okay. We have Dan the Dan as the winner. With Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer, Apothecary Diaries, Kaiju number 8, and Free Written in there. This category like is weird to me. I feel like they should have said best character design, Dan the Dan, and then like listed the fucking character that is the winning design.
That is
Or
a
just-
good point. I feel like we need more details here on like what exactly pushed it over. Because yeah, I feel like this should be kind of character specific or
Yeah, 'cause
at
you got
list
like
out some characters. uh,
you got the main characters and they're just like normal kids in normal clothes and it's like okay.
yeah. I have to imagine part of Denzen is Turbo Granny. But that
Oh,
might just
true.
be, yeah. I feel like
The
that's
monster
part of it.
designs in Dan to Dan were really cool. It really
That
sucks.
is true.
So
The
maybe that's what pushes it over. But again,
yeah.
like, can we not have an explanation?
Yeah, I do wish there was a little something here. Perhaps that's what we missed out by not watching these live at like 3 a.m. or whatever. Because I think they
Oh.
do actually do this
Actually,
from like Japan.
yeah, no, it was at 4 a.m. I was like going to sleep like super late one night, and it's like I like opened YouTube at 1 a.m. and I like see something for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and it's like however many people are waiting for the for the awards to start. I'm like, guys, it's like it's at 4 a.m. in 3 hours. What are you waiting for?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't have much more to say here. I mean, I think the others are kind of just. Yeah, I think the monster designs of Dan to Dan are probably really what pushes it here. I can't really. All of the other characters, like, they're cool, but like, eh.
It makes sense. Like nothing. I don't think the other shows had like bad character design, but now that I think about it, with the monsters and stuff, Dan Denon's like the only one that really like stands out.
Yeah. Well,
Fair.
we'll
We'll give a
continue
pass on
on.
this one, Crunchyroll.
Best director. Well, I'm not going to be able to say much, I guess, other than like,
Best
did I like
director.
these? So our best director here is, and I'm going to probably mess this up, Keiichiro Saito, who directed Frieren. Uh, Famously also directed Bocchi the Rock season 1, and is not returning to that show because he's too busy with Frieren. Um,
Fair enough.
but we have the other nominees here are Fuga Yamashiro, Haruo Sotozaki, Megumi Ishitani, Norihiro Naganuma, and Yoshihira Miyajima.
And the shows those are for in order are Dan to Dan, Demon Slayer.
One Piece
Was
fan
that One
letter.
Piece fan letter?
Yeah, that was a special that they
Okay,
did during the
okay.
gap, I believe.
Then Apothecary Diaries and Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah. So outside of saying that the shows I've seen I liked, so I guess good job, director, you didn't fuck it up. Other than, well, I don't know who exactly decides when, because Dan to Dan again ended on that cliffhanger. Is that like a director decision, or is that decided by someone else? That is
If
the
that's a director
only negative
decision,
I can give.
if that's a director decision, they get worst director for me. Fuck that shit. I hate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's another category where I feel like we could have used a nice little text blurb of exploration, or I guess maybe watched the show at 4 a.m. For a bit more of an explanation on what stood out for directing and such and what they actually did. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I feel like best director going to the Freeman director is a good enough call for me.
Yeah, works for me. Yeah, I can't really say know much of like the staff behind these things. I barely even know voice actors, so I
I don't know
can.
anybody's name, man.
Yeah, so this category not aimed at us clearly.
I got to be honest. Very few of these categories will be aimed at me.
Oh yeah, no, I think we needed more maybe like genres, and maybe we're still getting into that. That might be something where we can say more. But moving on here
Yeah.
to Best Background Art, winner is once again Frieren. Other nominees are Dan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer, Pluto, and The Apothecary Diaries.
Pluto's a new one. We haven't seen that yet. Appear
Yeah, we
yet.
haven't seen Pluto appear, and I
I
don't know
also haven't
anything
heard of
about
it
it.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number
Can
two
you click
for
on it? It will take you somewhere.
it does actually have a link. Let's see if this takes it. No,
No.
that is just changing. That is the most pointless feature I have perhaps ever seen.
Thank you so much, Crunchyroll. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I would never have been able to see the image slightly blown up without your without your additional link.
Um,
Uh,
yeah, I mean, I guess background art, that's, I mean, it's kind of like background, I feel like you don't notice as much. I will say I notice it a little more, just because there's certain things I kind of like look for that I would also consider as part of like the best animation nomination
yeah,
is
I
like
would
what's
have trouble
going on.
distinguishing this. I would have trouble distinguishing this from like the best animation category. It's all part of the animation to me. So I mean, I know it's cool that it's a category, but it's not very meaningful to me. Cool that 3-1 though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was some anime that popped into mind, but I can't think of what it actually is. I'm thinking of like a particular scene, and basically the characters are in a car, and it's only that one car on the road. And that's really where, like, that's what I would notice is nothing else is going on. They are in a city by themselves, even though they are not meant to be. And I think that's kind of what this category emphasizes to me is like the details of not the main scene, like your main focus.
Yeah,
How
I guess that makes
detailed
sense.
are
I guess that makes
those?
sense.
So yeah, good job Frieren for winning here again. Crunchyroll, you get a pass, I guess. You know, I can't really say I noticed anything in that show or any of these shows that I watch. So, finally, a
Best romance.
category and one for me, best romance. How many of these have I? Actually, I've seen all of these. All right, this is it. I'm gonna talk
No,
now.
I've only seen two.
Winning here is Blue Box, and the other nominees are A Sign of Affection, Makane Too Many Losing Heroines, Ranma One Half, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and The Dangers in My Heart Season 2.
This is our first time getting a season 2 on the nomination, other than the continuing
Are
series
then
one.
continuing series? I think this might be actually. I think all of this has so far been things that are new. So outside of that
So,
one
what are your
category.
thoughts on the winner, Nick? Since you've seen all of them.
All right, so the winner is the only one of these I dropped. So I did not like it. To me, it wasn't slow in the way you might think of like kind of slice of life. It was slow in that they were never making any sort of progress, it seemed, as people, as a potential couple. It was just like nothing happening. It's also kind of a sports anime. It is the closest to a sports anime I've watched. Because
That's
so
surprising.
I'll give a little explanation for you here. So the girl, she is a like star basketball player. She is in her last year of high school, and then the guy is a year below her, plays tennis, and so basically she was set to move away because of where her parents got a job or whatever, and then he decided to not exactly confess his feelings, but ask her to stay so that she could like win the basketball championship for their school. Apparently, their school is really well known for like sports or something. I don't know. Anyways,
That's a
because
strange plot point off the bat.
well, so it turns out that her mother and the guy's mother went to this high school together, were on the basketball team, and so she does stay and moves in with him.
Oh boy.
At least the parents are around. But, you know, this is a common plot point we see. And then, like, nothing happens. We also have, like, the guy has a childhood friend who does
Of
actually,
course, of course.
right before I, like, dropped, she, like, kind of made it clear that she has more intentions than just being a friend. But by that point,
Dude,
I was just so uninvested in this anime.
dude, for real, you listed off like multiple common plot points that in what I would consider to be a generic bad rom-com anime.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Talking through some of the others here, we have. I'll start off and just go in utter A Sign of Affection. So this is about a deaf girl who one
A what?
day deaf, so she can't hear.
Oh, a deaf. I thought you heard it said a death girl. And I'm like, what the fuck is a death girl?
No, no. She meets this guy who is he like travels the world all the time. That's like what he does. He just like randomly goes on trips. He just like goes to the airport, finds the cheapest ticket, goes somewhere. And this is it falls into the kind of trope of like shy, weak heroine meets like kind of strong, assertive guy. And usually I actually hate these sort of anime, which might just also speak to that they're like shoujo, they're aimed at like young girls. But this one I actually really enjoyed, because she is kind of that like shy heroine, but she actually like grows and progresses beyond that. She basically takes the guy as an inspiration to like expand her world and meet new people, and it was pretty sweet overall. It's not my favorite, but it's like an exception to this category of romance anime. So gets some points there for me for being better. um, Maknae, this is one we can both speak to.
Of course.
What was very I know when we did like our first episode, I kind of didn't put this in the top at first. But for me, like top anime of last year, I would say.
I think in my review for Machina, I literally describe it as Nick's favorite anime of the
Yeah.
year.
Produced by my beloved A1, beloved only because they, did Kaguya-sama. I mean, they've done other things I really like in the romance genre as well, like Your Lie in April. But really funny, really stellar animation. Honestly, I'm surprised this didn't get a nod in the best animation category.
But
Just
that's
because,
actually a great point.
like, the lighting was phenomenal, especially, and that's like a big part of making something look more realistic.
Yeah. I don't know if it was just because it was like a category where I don't expect to see like great animation all the time, but this was like the only show last year that really stood out to me, and I'm like, wow, that was really good animation.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I'm
remember.
noticing it as I was watching.
Yeah, I remember watching the first episode and just thinking, what was the budget? This looks like maybe what I would expect on like a movie budget, not for a 12 episode anime. Um, but yeah, really fantastic. I don't know if there's much more I can say that we haven't already talked about before.
Well, I may not have seen most of these other ones, but having seen Machina, I could say that would hands down be my pick for
Oh yeah, no, for
the best
that
romance of the year.
yeah, no, that is
Like,
my
not
pick
even
for the
close.
category. We'll continue to Ranma One Half, which I believe we've also both seen. This is the latest adaptation. It's the third one of Ranma One Half, and this was pretty good. It's funny. Yeah, I don't have much more to say
It's
about it.
it's a solid show and stuff. Nothing too much to complain about it. But I swear this one also just like randomly ends. Like I was
Yeah.
waiting for the next episode to come out for like a week, and then I'm like, huh, where did it go?
Yeah, I don't know if that just speaks to like the original format or where they cut it off exactly. But
I feel like it needed one more episode. Like I feel like they forgot to air the last episode.
yeah, I mean, this one at least it might have partially been because I think the season 2 for this was announced with the season ending. So
That's as fucking usual.
yeah, that was
Quickly
probably it.
becoming my new pet peeve.
But yeah, really solid. Doesn't fall into many of the tropes you typically see. Or if it does, it's at least a little different, which is interesting given this is, again, actually pretty old, originally from like the 1980s. So if anything, it would have originated these tropes. But we'll go on to Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which is, I don't necessarily know if it makes sense in this category.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Scott Pilgrim is a romance at its core that is what is driving the plot. But Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is quite different from the source material. They changed. I'm just going to spoil the first episode because.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim, so basically the first episode goes until they're at the first concert, and in the original, or if you've seen the movie, Scott defeats the first of the evil exes. In the show, Scott is defeated. He is dead, or presumed dead. And
that's different.
yeah, so Scott is not the main character of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. It is Ramona Flowers, the love interest who kind of starts this whole thing. And for that, it gets a lot of points. Like, I would have been fine seeing just kind of like an adaptation, especially because the movie has to cut a lot of content from the books, I would have been fine just seeing those adapted. This is so much more interesting with just like exploring new sides to these characters because of this change. So I don't necessarily know if I would give it best romance, but it is really good. If you are a fan of Scott Pilgrim and you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Yeah, it's a little odd for it to be up here for best romance, but like, one of the two main whatchamacallit, the couple in the show is
Yeah.
fucking dead.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll go on to The Dangers in My Heart season 2, which this is an anime that I often saw recommended when people are talking about like, I'm looking for romance anime. I've already seen a lot. What's kind of like newer that's out there? There is a show I consistently saw come up, and I finally watched it with catching up last year, both seasons 1 and 2. And it is really good. I do really like it. It is in this category probably my second choice after Machine. I think that one thing that sets this apart is that it takes place in middle school instead of high school. And so they kind of, there's a moment where they have like the culture festival, and then they're like describing it, and you're thinking you're just getting your typical culture festival like episode, and then they're like, but it's middle school, so no one actually cares. But yeah, it's really good. I remember really liking the season 2 finale. It could very much serve as a finale for the show, even if the manga has continued past that, or light novel, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm just gonna say, give this one a shot if you haven't seen it. It's a little interesting. I do think you kind of need to think of the free episode rule here, because like the first episode, maybe even the second episode didn't have me, but the third episode kind of got me more into it. All right, shall we move on?
That wraps up this category.
Now that I've had
Hopefully,
my chance to speak.
Yeah, we got the Nick category out of the way. Hopefully, I guess the Christian category already happened too, didn't it?
Well, here's your category, the best comedy.
I know, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. All right, go ahead and read them off. Fuck me.
All right, so winning this category, we have Mashal Season 2, the Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc. Other nominees include Delicious in Dungeon, Konosuba Season 3, My Dear Friend Nokatan, Ranma One Half once again appearing, as well as Spy Family Season 2.
Bro, dude, I feel bad that Michael's not here for this. he'd be popping off about this.
He is a big Mashal enjoyer. I mean, I quite like the show too. I do think it is very funny, especially in the dub, as I haven't seen the sub. But what are more of your thoughts?
I've seen all of these except for Spy Family Season 2, which I could not be bothered. But dude, Mashal Season 2. Was this Season 2? I think.
Yeah, this is Season 2.
Mashal Season 2 was fun. It was like a good time, but like fuck, Konosuba Season 3 was amazing. It was so good. It has like my favorite parts of the light novel in there. Oh, it hurts so bad. Fuck you, Crunchyroll. I hate you so much. As for the others, I don't really think Delicious in Dungeon should even be here. And then My Dear Friend Nakatan was pretty funny and good, but like really lost steam as like the season went on. They had some good stuff, but they failed to like really grow it and like develop their comedy, and it was just a lot of the same jokes towards the end that didn't really they stopped making you laugh after a while.
Yeah, they were just worn out. Yeah, let's see, I've seen Delicious in Dungeon. That humor is very much just like, what's her name? Marcille, the elf girl, doesn't want to eat something, then ends up really enjoying it. That's a good amount of the humor.
Like half of it. Oops.
Yeah, Maybe like the other half is what's the I don't know the halfling's name anymore. Being treated as a child despite being like a 35-year-old man or something.
Yeah.
And then
There were funny elements to the show, but it's not a comedy.
yeah, I would say it's not. I mean, I guess it can be just like a comedy in the sense it's more lighthearted. Although on the other hand, like the overarching
Mm,
story to it is more serious for sure.
no, we
Uh,
have to differentiate between a lighthearted show and a comedy. And Delicious in
yeah.
Dungeon is not a comedy.
Konosuba would actually be my pick here as well. Thank you for, introducing me to that and me finally
It's
watching
so good.
it. um, Rama One Half, that's also funny. I
No,
enjoyed
Roman
that,
Half was
but
legitimately funny.
yeah,
It deserves to be here in the nomination. It does
yeah,
not deserve to win. Same with One,
yeah.
but that actually won. So yeah.
And then, yeah, I only saw the first episode of My Dear Friend Nokotan that we watched together, and like that was, it's your
The first
quirky
episode is
show.
funny.
Yeah,
It's when you get to the 10th episode that you're like, okay, I don't know about this anymore.
yeah. Kind of interesting to see Spy Family here, just because my understanding is the season two has like some more serious moments. But
That's what
again,
we
I've seen it, so I don't know. I'm not gonna say too much on it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be here. Someone's got to fill the sixth slot.
Yeah. We'll
Although
continue.
there were actually better comedies that could have been up here.
What would you put as the six? If we're gonna replace Spy Family, can you think of
Uh,
something?
Hold on, let me go pull up the website and see. Oh, gotta find the right internet tab first. I mean, honestly, Makane would have been good to be up here.
That is true.
That show was actually hilarious. And then,
Yeah.
okay, there are other shows, but they all got those light novel ass titles, and I'm not reading those out right now.
Okay. We'll
But
say.
I think Makane is probably still like my top like the top show that I think should be up here.
Yeah, putting again,
Wait,
it's a
no,
raw.
I did remember
Oh.
one. Let This Grieving Soul Retire was really funny.
That's really interesting, just because the title does not make me think comedy.
Oh yeah, that's the best part about it. That's by far the best part about it. Oh, it was really good. It was in a similar vein of comedy as like again, I assume the show that I'm about to say is a comedy. I'm not entirely sure yet, just for reasons. But it was a similar vein of comedy I found to the Eminence in Shadow, where it's just like the main character's just totally out of the loop from everything else that's happening in the world.
Okay.
But they had some good jokes and really good setups, and it was it was a fun show in general. So that would Imakade. If I could make some swaps, I'd take out Delicious in Dungeon and Spy Family and put in those two.
Well, we'll make the suggestion next time to Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I'll fucking make my demands to Crunchyroll next time. They will hear my voice.
Going on to Best
One
Action.
of these.
Another solo leveling win here. Other nominees being Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, Dandadan, Demon Slayer, Kaiju number 8, and Windbreaker. Other than Dandadan, I haven't seen any of these, so Christian, take it away.
I've seen everything but Demon Slayer and like most of Bleach. I saw like a couple episodes of Bleach. But okay, for animation, I was willing to give it to solo leveling. For best action, I'm not actually. The solo leveling does do well in action, but like I mean, especially season one. Season one, like some of the fights were just not the fight choreography and everything that was going on was just not as cool as it like was clearly supposed to be. But like, and especially when you're up here with like Dan to Dan is really solid, of course. But also like Kaiju number 8 was amazing, and then Windbreaker is so good with its action scenes.
So
Windbreaker's, I mean, that's Windbreaker season one, so that was like half of the show was like sick one-on-one fights between two guys or whatever,
okay.
and it was good. They did a really good job with it. I just wouldn't give it to solo leveling for multiple reasons, but mostly because I don't like the show.
Well, we'll continue on here. I have nothing to contribute.
Not a big action fan.
No, I guess not.
Oh God, no! It's the category of my fucking nightmares. Oh,
Best
no.
isekai anime.
Yo, wait, but Konosuba's there.
Okay. So the winner here being ReZero Season 3.
Holy shit. Nick, wait, no. Keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
Other nominees, as just mentioned, Konosuba Season 3, Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 2, Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, Suicide Squad Isekai.
I was looking at.
Okay, and then
Suicide Squad Isekai.
the last in this category, as we recover from that damage, that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
I've got things to say about a lot of these, but like, can you click on Suicide Squad Isekai for a second?
Sure. Where's my mouse? Here we go. So
I mean, I can't believe the show exists, and I can't believe it got nominated.
Everything I've heard about this show is that it's bad. Like,
Yeah,
there
it
is
was
like
terrible.
nothing redeeming about this show. To see it here is a shock. But maybe that just speaks to the isekai genre.
I mean, there's not much going on in the isekai genre. You got to go to the bottom of the barrel, no matter what. But I still think we could have found like a better bottom of the barrel than Suicide Squad isekai. I'm looking in tears over that. I had like other complaints to be made here, but I've just been overwhelmed by looking at. I'm actually looking in tears right now. What one was it? ReZero?
Yeah, ReZero 1, which makes sense. I know it's very
That's
popular.
Fine. It's popular. Everyone fucking loves it. I don't know if season 3 was good. I didn't watch it. Season 2 was not good for me. I didn't like that, so I gave up on the show. The other ones, Mushoku Tensei, I didn't see, but that time I got reincarnated as a slime, season 3. That's one of those shows where I'm watching it, and I'm like, yeah, I like this show. This is going good. But I'm like, if you ask me anything about it, like, I could never tell you anything about what was happening in the show. Stuff just happens, and I'm like, okay. And then, like, they try to have these crazy, complicated, like, plot points and, like, politics and stuff going on in the show, and I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm not following any of it. That's just that show. That's that kind of show for me. I keep watching it, but I don't know what's going on. Shangri-La for season 2 is all right. It's like it's solid again. Very much scratching the gamer itch, but it's nowhere. I don't think it deserved to win anything. You know what did deserve to win anything though, Nick?
Konosuba?
Again, it's a really great season, but it also is like. It's a clear standout it separates itself a lot from the rest of the isekai genre because it's very much making fun of the genre.
Yeah. The only comment I have to add here, having only seen Konosuba, is that I have not heard good things about Mushoku Tensei. Everyone seems to agree that this is absolute trash.
Bro, I watched a couple episodes of like the first season, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this? Get me the hell out of here!"
Yeah, but again, I guess it's a popularity thing because even if people are trashing it, they're still watching it.
You know what they say, Nick. Though, if you've only seen one, that's clearly the best.
That is true. Continuing on here to best drama, we have Frieren, Beyond Journey's End winning.
You gotta read all the nominations.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that second one is gonna be fun.
I know. I gotta. Let me take I'll say the first one. So we have A Sign of Affection making another appearance, and now let me take a sip of water before going to this next one. All right, we have Dead Demons D Destruction. I have no idea what this. It is the first time I've ever heard of it. But yeah, that is our second nominee here. Then we have Oshinoko Season 2, also up for nomination. Pluto making another appearance, and lastly, The Apothecary Diaries. So yeah, I've only seen 2 of these. I keep thinking, because Michael keeps talking about The Apothecary Diaries, that like in my mind it has like a spot, but there's like nothing actually there.
we're slowly being convinced by Michael not to watch Apothecary Diaries, but that we've already watched Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I've definitely seen that. And then they're going to ask me about my favorite part, and it's just going to be a 404 error.
I'm gonna pull up the Michael subsection of my brain to start listing off why I like Apothecary Diaries.
Well, I mean, I think that no one has anything to say against Fearon winning this category, given that it was snubbed elsewhere.
Neither do I have anything to say about the other shows. I didn't watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, A Sign of Affection is good, but, it's by no means the best. And then I haven't gotten around to watching Oshinoko. I don't know if I'm going to after the manga ending. But,
not a good end to the manga?
No, it is continuing in the trend of many manga not ending well. So...
That's unfortunate.
Continuing on to Best Slice of Life, we have Makane, Too Many Losing Heroines winning here, which we'll talk about a little bit. Let's go through some of the other nominees here first. Laid Back Camp, Season 3, Mr. Villain's Day Off, My Dear Friend Nokatan, Sound Euphonium, Season 3, and The Dangers in My Heart, Season 2.
Who made these categories? Like, who decided which shows were in which category?
See, this is...
I don't know, maybe...
I don't know. I think many romance anime also get classified as slice of life, so it's really funny when I say I don't like slice of life anime, but then if you look at any of these shows, they usually have that as a tag. And I guess in a sense, they're going about their day-to-day lives, if that's how you classify it, but to me, there's a difference between that and what's going on.
Between a rom-com and a slice of life. They're just not the same.
Yeah.
they're not the same. They have entirely different appeals, which is highlighted by you not liking the slice of life ones.
Yeah.
But it's cool that Makane won something, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Makane getting a win is nice to see here. I would say that the other one I've seen here, The Dangers in My Heart Season 2, is closer to a slice of life than Makane is. But still wouldn't classify it as that. And then, I mean, I'm just going to base it off the titles here, but I feel like Laid Back Camp Season 3 is calling to me as a slice of life just based on the title.
That's gotta be the most slice of life out of all of these slice of lives. Nothing screams slice of life more than that. And that's what it means. You got it's like a chill show. You're just chilling, You're just watching characters go about their life. It's nothing crazy happening. There's not too much of a driving plot. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Similar. I don't think I could call My Dear Friend Nokatan slice of life. It's definitely up there in the not having a driving plot element, but it's
it's very much going more. It's more like going skit to skit or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Anybody who's having a life that is depicted in this show is they're having some problems. They must be on some fucking drugs or something.
I can't speak to anything about Sound Euphonium Season 3 or Mr. Villain's Day Off. I've at least heard of Sound Euphonium, but it means nothing to me. It's some music anime, so All right, we'll move on. Best main character. Solo Leveling once again winning here with, I assume, the main character, Sung Jin-woo.
At least they listed the characters this time.
Well, I would hope so. It is called Best Main Character. Going through the others, we have Frieren from Frieren. Kafka Hibino from Kaiju number 8. Momo from Dandadan. Okaroon from Dandadan, 2 nods, and then Mao Mao from the Apothecary Diaries, and then that's it. Yeah, so I guess in terms of our characters, I'm tempted for myself. I don't know if I can choose between Momo and Okaroon from Dandadan, but I like them more as characters than I do Frieren.
I would agree.
But to me, it's very
I
much the
think
duo. I can't pick
yeah,
one over
the
the other.
duo is strong. I don't think one of the other is like worthy themselves, but the duo is like a great lead for the show.
Yeah.
The fucking solo leveling guy. God, like really, that's the best main character you guys can come up with. He's so boring. Okay, so the whole thing is he goes from like the weakest of the hunters or whatever. Like the guy's useless, but he keeps going back in, determined, I guess. And then like within like 2 episodes or maybe 3 episodes, not from the start, but like a 3 episode span, he goes from that to being just like a totally cold badass character or whatever. Badass in quotes because that's what they're trying to convey. But he's
Mm-hmm.
just a fucking deadpan dude walking around being like, "Oh, I'm so much better than everyone else. I'm so cool." So stupid. Like the character might as well not exist. You just have a guy. You just have a random guy off the street running around doing cool action stuff, and apparently that's all it takes to be the best main character these days. Fucking depressing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for the shows I've seen here, the other characters have like development and growth that is actually grounded in something
Yeah,
going on.
I would also like to shout out the Kaiju number 8 guy. He was also a really good character in that show. Yeah, there he is. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's fucking eating the cheeseburger. Yeah, Kafka was cool. He was a very bright and like colorful character in the show. Helps really sell the anime.
All right.
So shout out to that. Honestly, I mean, I'm sure the fucking I mean, well, I don't know why I'm saying I'm sure. We know the Apothecary Diaries girls is awesome, great show. Love watching
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Love watching that one. She really leads that show. Great to
So
follow
strong,
her
so
story.
amazing.
Yeah.
What growth?
Yeah, what growth? I mean, really, she starts off as nothing and becomes, just this amazing
Becomes the
person.
Apothecary Diary.
She really does become the Apothecary Diaries.
Dude, Michael's gonna fucking kill it. Oh, yeah. I feel confident saying that any of these other characters are more deserving than Sung Jinwoo.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue, see what else. Best supporting character. Winning here we have Fern from Frieren. Other nominees include also from Frieren, Himmel. Then from our favorite show, The Apothecary Diaries, Jinshi. We then also have Seiko from Dandadan, Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon, and Turbo Granny from Dandadan as well. And now we've seen all of these shows, so we can talk about these characters some more.
Totally.
I know Fern is
like
very beloved, so like I really don't have a problem here. I really like Fern too.
it makes sense that she won, but also I feel like she's not quite just a supporting character. Like
Yeah, no, I think especially in like the last few episodes, that she is more of the main character in many
yeah, no.
ways.
If
Like
I
it's a
had to
lot
classify
about
it, I
her.
I would say Fern, Frieren, and Stark are like the main characters of the show.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Stark to me is more just a supporting character. He doesn't have like,
Ernest.
at least he hasn't had much of a moment of his own. I think he is more just there with Frieren and Fern on this journey. And even
He'll get his time, I'm sure.
yeah, I would say the same about Fern for a good portion of it until they go to this like exam. I think during that exam she is more the focus. But yeah. Himmel being here, he's very much a supporting character because he's dead and only appears in flashbacks.
I know he's alive at the start.
Yeah. He's interesting to include as a supporting character though, because it's very much because he only appears in flashbacks, it's more he is a part of who Frieren is as a character,
Yeah.
then I feel he is his own character.
I mean, if you are considering him as a supporting character, though, he deserves to be up here. He
Oh yeah,
largely carries parts of the show
yeah, yeah.
through the flashbacks and everything.
Seiko here from Dan to Dan. I think just people like her. You know, she's funny.
I
And
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Senshi similarly has like a big fandom around him. You know, I can see that's why he's here. I guess he did actually have an episode
I
that
really
was
agree with
about him.
Yeah, I really agree with Senshi being here. He was like he did a lot of work in that show.
Yeah. And then lastly, mascot kind of
Turbo
character, Turbo Granny.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And then obviously our favorite Jinji, you know.
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I can't believe Jinchi did it. It's so sad.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was a tough competition with Fern there, but you know,
This whole category is just like, okay, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
No,
I don't feel too strongly about any of the supporting characters where I'm like, no, I can't believe they didn't win.
yeah, yeah. No, pretty good category. Crunchyroll, you did good here.
Give you a pass. We'll give you a pass.
Must protect at all costs character.
Okay.
Winning here, we have Anya Forger from Spy Family. We then also have Frieren from Frieren. This one is interesting, just because she does not need protection.
Another character who doesn't need protection.
Yeah, Okaruna, I mean, he's like shy, but at the same time, you know, he can fend for himself a bit. Maybe more in a physical sense than emotional sense, but we'll continue. Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon, Tokiyuki Hojo from The Elusive Samurai, and
Never heard of
then
that.
Yuki Itose from A Sign of Affection. Yeah, I have to say, The Elusive Samurai isn't actually ringing any bells here for me either. So can't say anything to that. Everyone else here makes sense. You know,
All right,
Yuki.
I got a theory.
Okay. Go with your theory
Straight up,
first.
yeah, straight up. I think this entire category was made so they could give Spy Family an award.
Okay. That does make a lot of sense as the maybe, well, no, I mean, as definitely the youngest character in this category, Anya Forger was bound to be a winner here.
And then they got like three of the other characters, like, probably don't need any protection.
Yeah. You know, I think this is also a bit of almost. We'll see if there's like a fan favorite category, but if not, I feel like this almost fills that role.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think this category is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Frieren and Okarun, like, Senshi can definitely fight. Yuki here from A Sign of Affection, again, this like shy, weak heroine. I get she's like made for this category, so obviously being here, but also like there's nothing special about her. You can talk about several other characters from rom-coms who are this, except she actually, you know, develops a bit more. But yeah, we've already talked about that. We'll move on.
How many are left? Do we know? Or are we just doomed to be here forever?
I don't know how many there are actually. we can get a sneak peek here of the categories. We won't see them.
Just fucking
okay.
Leave us to guess.
Okay.
We'll get to die or something.
Well, here's something that you'll love to talk about. Best anime song. Winning here, we have Otonoke from Dan to Dan. Other nominees being Abyss from Kaiju number 8. Bling Bang Bang Born from Mashal Season 2. Fatal from Oshinoko Season 2. Level, weirdly capitalized from Solo Leveling. And then The Brave from Frieren. I believe this is the opening to part 1.
Yeah. All right. Rare's case, where me and the Crunchyroll Anime Awards are in agreement. Dan was by far, Otonoke is by far the best OP this season. Maybe not by far. There were some other really good ones.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
Wait,
it's
is Abyss Kaiju number 8?
yeah.
Yeah, it is. That was my number 2 too. So
Okay.
like they're up here, the ones I liked.
For me, I think
Except for Level. That one's lame.
for me it would be between Otonoke and Bling Bang Bang Born, both by Creepy Nuts. I I would have a tough time choosing between these. I forget what I.
I know. I know you and Michael love that one, but it was just not. I didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
Didn't have it going for it. I'd probably pick the Free Run one above it. I think the Free Run
Frieren,
one really does a great job of like not only being like a good song or whatever, but like setting up the first season of the show, like setting the mood for the show before you go into the episode.
that is true. Yeah,
Like a
that
phenomenal job.
I might have to change my answer to that just because yeah, more than these at least Otonoke perhaps visually maybe helps a bit
I
setting up
think
that show, but
Otonoke does it well.
the song itself maybe not as much.
Yeah,
Uh
Otonoke and Abyss also do a great job of it, but I think Free Run does it a little bit better.
yeah.
But I think that's more attributed to the kind of show that Free Run is.
Yeah, that is also a good point there. Gonna note the artists here as well, Yoasobi, just because they've done some other OPs I've liked, including one from this season. They did the OP for Witch Watch, and
Ah,
I really like that one. So
that one's really good.
yeah, um,
I think it's funny that they do song because the animations behind all of these also like
mm,
really add to them, especially with Otonoke, and then Abyss. The animations that go on with that opening are like crazy fun.
yeah. I
It's
kind of
just like
wish that they
it's
maybe
such a neat one.
had like a screenshot from the opening here instead of just like the
Yeah,
poster.
it's like I know it's like the songs that we're talking about here, but like to me, like especially like for the opening songs, it's about the song and like what's being shown at the same time.
Yeah. One more note on Yosobi here is that they also did the opening for the first season of Oshinoko, which was Idol, which actually like charted in Japan for like a long time as well.
Oh shit!
Like that is part of I think a shift is that many anime OPs are now produced by like actual stars who like have careers outside of this, and they are also just released as songs in general rather than being just specifically for the show. So
I
that
like
might
that's
be
had
part of
happened
that.
for a bit though.
It's probably been happening for a bit, but it is like a shift, I think, from earlier anime at least.
Yeah, probably.
We'll continue on here to best
Best score.
score. So
Wait.
all of the music happening outside in the show, just in your
No,
background.
no
Winning
way. This
here, as
category
you
is.
might guess from Christian's reaction, is Solo Leveling. Our other
Uh,
nominees as Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, Dandadan, uh, Demon Slayer, Frieren, and
oh,
a
it's look
movie
back. Yeah,
appearance, Look
it's
Back.
a
I don't think
movie,
we've seen too
right?
many movies appearing in here,
Yeah, no,
in the other
this will be the
ones.
first one outside of the movie category.
Outside of the movie category, exactly.
Dude,
I'm
I don't even want to talk about this category. Straight up, the only one deserves to win this is Freerun, and the fact that solo leveling with all its stupid ass sounds won it's just pissing me off. Give me the hell out of here, Nick.
good. I don't have anything to say either. That's a topic for another time. Best opening sequence. Now we can talk about the
We fucking split it
animation.
up. That's so confusing. Crunchyroll, why?
I guess they want you to consider the song, and then they want you to consider the
But they're
visuals as
happening at the
separate things.
same time.
I do think that we're going to talk about it here definitely as one thing. Winning, we have Otonoke from Dandadan. Other nominees being Abyss from Kaiju number 8, Bling Bang Bang Born from Mashal Season 2, Fatal from Oshinoko, Level from Solo Leveling, and then a change from the Best Anime Song category. I forget. Oh, yeah, this is replacing
Uh,
Frieren.
It's a One
It's
Piece one.
us with like 4, 5, 6. How many views? I can't
Five.
read
Those
it.
are five
Okay,
views.
five views
Five
from this being an opening to One Piece. So nearly the same nominees as the best anime song category, with one replacement here.
They didn't like the Freeman visuals, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they did not care for the visuals of Frieren. Was that just like kind of visuals and them traveling?
It wasn't too standout. It was good, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah. So I can see why they might have replaced it here. Okay, winning here, I don't have a problem with at all.
Yeah, that was fair. Like I said, the Otonoke wasn't like my favorite song from the season, but the song plus the visuals were amazing. They were pretty.
Yeah. That is definitely where I would give a point to Otonoke over Bling Bang Bang Born.
Can I just say that they once again named the song though? Like they didn't even they're not like best opening sequence this show. They clearly know. They clearly know that they're tied together. These fuckers are just insistent on splitting the category. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have to calm down after this.
Any comments on the others? I mean, I've only seen 2 of these, so I can only compare those.
I could make my comments, but I basically already said what I wanted to say. Abyss also had an amazing opening sequence that really worked with the song of the show. Level was not good. It was it's like best opening sequence. Come on, they're just fucking throwing the show everywhere. It's just him like doing some random action moves and like fighting things. It's nothing special. I think actually like a solid part of it is just him fighting this enemy that he might fight later in the show.
We'll continue from there.
It's not worthy of being a nomination. Fuck that show.
Maybe we can. Oh no, we cannot get you out of solo leveling hell. Now moving on to best ending sequence. So winning here, we once again have solo leveling with the song Request. Other nominees include Anta Nante from Ranma 1/2, Burning from Oshinoko Season 2, Kamakura Style from The Elusive Samurai, Nobody from Kaiju number 8, and Taitara from Dandadan. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't know any of these. I can't think of what they look like. I can't think of what they sound like. Endings to me very rarely like leave a place in my mind. Sorry to anyone who works on them.
Time to turn off the show kind of sign, you know.
Yeah.
I don't watch the endings very often. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I usually
doesn't come up very often.
I'll check if it seems like there might be something after. Maybe I'll watch through it. Maybe I'll just like skip to the end. But usually once the ending comes on, I'm done. I do not watch it. So yeah, I think we can just move on to the next category from here.
Fuck this category. Fuck solo.
All right. Best voice artist performance, and winning here is our favorite show, Aoi Yuki from the Apothecary Diaries. I really loved when, in Japanese, of course, she said, "And I am the Apothecary Diaries."
That was a great part. That was a really peak moment of the show.
Other nominees here include Atsumi Tanizaki from Frieren voicing Frieren. We also have Kenichi Suzumura, voicing Bravern from Brave Bang Bravern. Never heard of this show. It looks like some sort of mecha. We also have Shion Wakayama voicing Momo from Dandadan. Sayaka Sembongi voicing Marcille from Delicious in Dungeon. And then lastly, Natsuki Hane voicing Okarun from Dandadan.
Dandadan getting the double nod for its main characters again.
I mean, really, they need to be considered as one. I'd almost feel a little sad.
Pair them together. Why?
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about this category either. Like I do listen to the shows in Japanese while I read the English text, but I've never listened to like the sub and been like, oh, I hated that voice performance from this Japanese person that I can't understand.
I am just going to click on this drop down now for the categories because I think this is the rest of these is just going to be voice art performance.
Oh my god! Wait. We gotta check out best voice artist Italian.
Wait, where's the Italian one? Here we go. Who do we got in Italian? We have winning here Ilaria Pellicone voicing Kiyomoto from Look Back.
Oh, it's the movie again.
Hey, yeah, the movie makes another appearance. I guess we need to watch it in Italian.
Yeah, of course. That's Italian with English sometimes. That's how I want to watch my anime for the rest of the time.
I want to see what else is in here. We have the Haiku movie making an appearance with Alessandro Pili voicing Kenma Kazume. Our favorite, the Apothecary Diaries, our beloved character Jinchi, voiced by Andrea Oldani. Overlord the Sacred Kingdom having been nominated here for the character of Nea Baraja, voiced by Katya Sorrentino. I've never heard of this anime.
Wait, is that? I don't know. I might have, but I don't care.
Okay.
I certainly haven't seen that one.
Frieren.
Another Frieren.
From Frieren, once again here, this time voiced by Martina Feli. And lastly, Kaiju number 8, Kafka Hibino being voiced by Mattia Bresson.
Kafka that they've used.
I'm glad that they used this one. I like this guy. I've seen the show, but I can see.
It's the perfect picture for selling you on him.
I do want to take
English.
Let's check
English.
English.
The shows in English. But
I did watch. Well, so I watched some things in
is.
English. So we'll see. Winning here. From Solo Leveling, the character Sung Jin-woo, voiced in English by Alex Lee. This doesn't mean anything to me.
This one, actually. I hope Alex Lee did a good job.
Yeah. Other than so I'm gonna skip around a little here. I'm gonna go to
the fucking Russian girl show.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Russian girl show, but my choice here, because I've seen some clips, Delicious in Dungeon, the character of Senshi, voiced by Sung Won Cho, also known as ProZD Online. Yeah, so
that's cool.
That would be my pick here because it's the only one where I've actually at least seen some of the dub. I've seen some clips, probably from him. But yeah, good job. What else we got nominated here is Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feeling in Russian. Voicing the character of Alia, we have Sarah Nadocheny. I didn't watch the dub. I can't say anything. Yeah. Frieren. Once again, the character of Frieren.
Does every category have Frieren nominated?
We'll check in a moment. Voiced by Mallory Rodak in the dub, or the English dub, we should say. Attack on Titan final season, the final chapter, special 2. The character of Armin Arlelt, voiced by Jesse James Grell.
Oh, the title, the Attack on Titan title.
The final season, the final chapter, special 2. I want to know how many specials there were. Lastly, in this category, from Dan to Dan, the character of Okarun, voiced by AJ Beckles in the English dub. Cool.
Is it just voice categories left though?
Yeah, it is just voice actors in the rest of these. I do want to see if Frieren is in all of these. Frieren is not in Arabic. Okay, so yeah.
All right, we can move on then.
Yeah. Well, I do believe. I guess we can
move to the end.
Yeah, that brings us to the end here. We'll return to our home page and look at this beautiful animation.
So lovely. This random spiraling ribbon.
Yeah. But yeah, that about wraps up this episode. Overall, good to see Frieren and Danjadan get some nods here. Maknae having only won one category when really it should have won at least 2. But
there's a lot of shows that I wish won categories, but they didn't because a certain other show won that category instead.
Yeah, see, that is really the inspiration. I probably wouldn't have done this episode if I didn't see Solo Leveling win Anime of the Year, and I was like, I gotta get Christian on this.
So disgusting. Like, You know what the shit thing is? Now I'm like hating on solo leveling more than I like really feel like I should. Like my review for season two, I was pretty positive. I'm like, yeah, it got a lot better. Like season two is a lot better than season one. They really nailed the action scenes. It is like it's kind of a fun show to watch if you like turned off the character dialogue. Uh, but like, in no way did it deserve to win any of these awards. I think there might have been one that it might have deserved to win, but I can't give it credit for that. Oh no, best voice actor. We'll give it that. It can have that one.
Okay.
I'm sure that guy did a great job. I did actually hear the. No wait, I fucking watched the dub. He did do a good job. I actually one of my few comments was that the dub was really solid, and I really liked the voice for the main character.
Yeah, so down here, scrolling down,
God, it's
Alex
just so
Lee,
much. Yeah, Alex
good
Lee. Shout out
job.
to Alex Lee. I'm sorry I'm hating on your show so much, but honestly, you did a great job, and it made me actually enjoy the second season.
All right.
But
Well,
no, fuck all these other winnings that it got.
wait, I just know. Oh, wait, no, these are still voice actors. I just saw Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was like, wait, we didn't see that anywhere else. Good job to the Hindi voice actor there, Lohit Sharma, I guess, you know. With that, you know, we're going
Did
to
that
be
even come
wrapping up
out
this.
last?
This could be just because if the
Oh,
dub was
the
on a
dubs came out
delay,
late.
perhaps, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, there's no way that came out last year, did it? Like,
No, no.
I swear, I must be imagining that.
Yeah, there is kind of for this one, I guess, because of how they typically did their time periods, and they've made this a change. But in order to adapt for that change, this one actually covers 5 of the seasons instead. So it included fall 2023. That would be
I
as
was gonna bring
well.
it up. There's definitely a couple shows that like I don't actually consider to be part of last year. But also to be fair, I didn't like really consider Freerun to be a show from last year because it didn't start last year.
Yeah, no, so that is it. The fact that it started in fall 2023, that was included as part of this one, with whatever adjustment they've made to eligibility period. But yeah, I think that about wraps this up here. Hopefully next time Michael will be joining us again, and he can talk about. We can all talk about our favorite
We
shows,
can
like
all enjoy the
Apothecary
Apothecary
Diaries.
Diaries together.
Yeah,
And hopefully next time Crunchyroll we have such a shit list for best animes.
yeah, very true. Connect with us over on Blue Sky. We are at Hot Takes Reviews. Let us know what you think should have won in some of these categories, and we will catch you next time.
Goodbye. Sick. Did it.